Hey, welcome aboard. I want to thank everybody for helping me reach that goal. The new goal is I would like to see 15 hashtag Dark Brandon Rises comments. As soon as I get to that, I will set a new goal, make a new splash screen. And just for anybody out there, that is a pro Biden hashtag. That hashtag started after he gave that really blistering speech where he called out Republicans for, their issues. Okay, now the topic of this one, and I will be using at least one comment, and it's not exactly the tip of the iceberg, but it's not the only one. And I am gonna actually probably show his name because I kind of already warned some of them that I'm tired of them lying about me, and so I don't there's got to be some kind of consequences, there's plenty of places out there where they can go and tell lies. And I really don't want it on my channel. And the stuff where they're delusional or whatever, that's fine. But this is stuff that they have to know isn't true. Maybe not. I might be wrong. Let's go ahead and get the video loaded. Okay, first video I'm going to be showing. This is from the first, I believe it's the first Alex Jones Sandy Hook trial.
Mr. Jones, you may not say to this jury that you complied with discovery. That is not true. You may not say it again. You may not tell this jury that you are bankrupt. That is also not true. You may have filed for bankruptcy. I don't know that, but I've heard that. That doesn't make a person or a company bankrupt. You're already under oath to tell the truth. You've already violated that oath twice today in just those two examples. It seems absurd to instruct you again that you must tell the truth while you testify, yet here I am. You must tell the truth while you testify. This is not your show. You need to slow down and not take what you see as opportunities to further the message you're wanting to further. And instead, only answer the specific and exact question you have been asked. No asides. The comments about discovery, the comments about the larynx or whatever it was, the comments about bankruptcy, none of those were responsive to questions. They were just you abusing my tolerance and making asides to the jury improperly, and in at least two cases, untruthfully. Do you understand what I have said? Yes or no? Do you understand what I have said?
Yes, I believe what I said was true. So
Yes, you believe everything you say is true, but it isn't. Your beliefs do not make something true. That is what we're doing here. Just because you claim to think something is true does not make it true. It does not protect you. It is not allowed. You are under oath. That means things must actually be true when you say them. Don't talk.
This right here is a hero of the right, hero of the conservatives. You can't even say far right anymore because they've driven all the honest and moderate people out of the fucking party. But he lies, and for and this might only be true for 90 or 95% of them, I'm guessing. But the people that are on the right, they are either they're either gonna lie like him because his lawyers in court, his wife tried to use his show and how disturbing it is as a grounds for him not being able to see his kids. And his lawyers argued that, his show isn't true. It's just a character he plays to make money. So I think he knows he's full of shit. This is a character he plays. He does it to make, and it sounds like he makes a lot of money. I'll give him that. And, here's the thing. the people that follow them don't always fall into this category. They don't. Um, and you know, I know there's people out there that don't like it, but some of the people that follow him, some of the people on the right, and there are some people on the far left. But again, you used to be able to say far right, far left. You can't do that anymore. You know, you just can't. And the one thing I want to say is there are people on the far right that have just as many ideas that are not feasible as they do on the far right. The difference is they're generally good ideas, not always, but most of them, more of them are good ideas. They would probably be better for the planet. They either just cost too much or they're just unrealistic to implement. But when you look at the people on the right, you know, the ideas that we should give money to millionaires and not poor people. You know, the fact that we should let criminals off and not protect minorities that have been falsely accused. This is the shit you see on the right. You know, it's absolutely the shit you see on the right. And those are harmful to a country. They are harmful to our planet. They are harmful to society. And and the ones that follow these people, and believe me, the comments on some of my videos, I'm seeing it. I'm absolutely seeing it. Uh, the people that follow them, they're either just as dishonest or they're stupid. I can't exactly give you a reason. I'm not a doctor. I don't think it's fair to diagnose. I mean, I'm going to do it on accident because some of these people are just frustrating, but you know, you can't probably give an accurate or at least a complete diagnosis, even if you were a doctor. Um, so when I make these comments, understand I'm not a doctor. This is not some clinical assessment. And I got called out on it, and it was somebody that was kind of on my side of the argument because I kept calling Kyle Rittenhouse a murderer. And somebody when they go, well, actually, he's not a murderer. He would be guilty of involuntary man. And he gave the legal charge that you would be able to bring against him for what he did. And see, I'm not a lawyer, so you know, for me, I'm just going to call it murder when you've got somebody that's a scumbag and they fucked up and then somebody else is dead. I'm going to call that murder, but understand I'm not a lawyer. That's not a legal term. And but these people, and I only see one of three possibilities. They're either dishonest and they're lying when they repeat these Republican talking points. They're fucking stupid, or they got mental health problems. Them are the only three possibilities I see for this, you know. And you know, and some of them might be a little combination of all three. I don't know, but this is a case, and if you look, and I'm not going to show video. I want to keep this as small as I can. I want to keep the size down. But when you look at his current Sandy Hook case, I haven't seen any clips where he's actually there yet. And I think I might have been watching some of the pretrial motions or something like that. But his lawyers are already getting into trouble. There's one video, and it's his new judge, and his lawyers were trying to bring the whole Hillary Clinton thing into it. Well, Hillary Clinton, as far as I know, had absolutely nothing to do with him lying about Sandy Hook and the damage that those lies caused. And the judge, there's a clip where the judge actually said, I don't want to hear Hillary Clinton's name in here again. I have ruled on this. Well, then they were going to talk about Megyn Kelly, and his lawyer immediately tried to divert it into Hillary Clinton. And the judge went off on him a little bit. And she told him, she goes, look, we're not going to be pulling the jury out of this room every other 5 minutes because you can't follow my. And he's like, he's trying to explain to it. Well, then there's another one. Apparently, there is a video that she ruled on that it was inadmissible. And I'm not kidding you. Some of the stuff that you see on the right, it reminds me when I watch these First Amendment auditors or these Second Amendment auditors where they're, you know, you can see the videos before they go to court and they're talking, I got all this evidence. And there was a nice guy. He was actually a pretty nice guy when I lived in India, but he was pretty clueless like this. And he put up a video on Facebook about how this video is going to get them to fucking remove the helmet laws for motorcycles so we can go drive without a helmet. And it basically looked like some escaped mental patient made a video Photoshop. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to do, but they do. They just make a video. It looks like a lunatic made it. And they think that this is going to carry some weight in court. And then you see these videos where I got all this evidence. I got all this evidence. And then you see them screaming as they leave the court, fucking judge, blah, blah, blah. And it's just horrible. It is just absolutely horrible. And that's what but these guys probably don't have that bad. The production value of their evidence is probably a little better. But the judge had ruled on it. And apparently it was the same video, or it was the same video from a different angle or something, because they tried to enter a video and it was basically the same material the judge ruled as inadmissible. And it was from a different angle, or it was a slightly different video, but it was trying to push the same agenda. And she was letting, I think it was Alex Jones's lawyers, that she was getting ready to sanction them. And this is what they really need to start doing. In a case like this where she caught him, she shouldn't have really weighed in on it. She says, look, I'm not going to go into this more. She maybe should have held him in contempt, but she shouldn't have talked about it too much more. She should have said, I'm referring this for criminal referral, because you can't come into my court and lie. And what recently happened, it was a few days ago, some person, I don't know him. I literally don't know him. He's like, you should bait me. I've made 200 videos on Kyle Rittenhouse, and I've had the witnesses in. Well, okay, here's the thing, and this is why I wanted to show Alex Jones. I could make 200 videos on why the earth is flat. Does not make it true. I could make 200 videos on the fact that the number 8 is bigger than the number 4. Doesn't make it true. If we're going to do anything, and this would be a good start to fixing what's wrong with our country, if we could basically get and the Republicans did this, we'll just have to agree to disagree. This is what got us to where we are now. This is literally what got us to where we are now. Because at a certain point, good people just said, we'll have to agree to disagree. You can be a fucking idiot and I'll be right. And we'll just, no, that these people, and you can go back even a little further. When I was a kid, if you were stupid, you got held back in school until you at least reached a certain minimum for going out in public. We don't have that anymore. We absolutely do not have that anymore. They pass people, and it's got something to do. If we flunk these people, they're dumb. They're never going to get any better. And if we flunk them, they're going to kill themselves. And I know that's horrible, but look where we're at now. If we basically had held these people accountable like they did when I was little, even if they killed themselves, maybe we wouldn't have a Marjorie Taylor Greene in there. Maybe those kids in Ohio, those wrestlers, wouldn't have had somebody willing to turn a blind eye for what was going on with Jim Jones or Jordan. Society is suffering from that bad decision. They absolutely are suffering. We are suffering from that. And I'm going to go ahead and find the next video.
Were you afraid that day?
I was very afraid.
Are you afraid now? Going forward?
I am afraid, because I know there's people that disagree with my actions on January the 6th. But I hope they understand I did my job. And there was imminent threats and danger to the members of Congress.
In the chaotic minutes before Lieutenant Michael Byrd shot and killed rioter Ashley Babbitt.
This right here, what we just saw, this is potentially the final outcome for some of these right wingers. And again, if you come and watch this, you'll see plenty of them in the comments. There are some good comments in there. They're not all bad, but there are plenty of delusional people, and most of them seem like really nice people. They really do. But that is the final outcome for some of these people. Some of these people are just never going to be cured. You're never going to be able to educate them. You're never going to be able to remove that head from their butt. It's the embalming fluid that's going to cure what's wrong with them. It just is.
It happened outside Waco, Texas, a heavily armed compound, a religious cult.
4 law enforcement agents are dead.
Federal agents prepared for the worst in dealing with the Branch Davidians and cult leader David Koresh.
Exit the compound and keep your hands in the air.
Huge numbers of Americans watched this play out on their television sets, and the ending was incredibly horrifying.
Who drove how long to get here?
12 hours from our car. We've been driving from north of the border, so.
Oh, you came down from Kanadistan. If I was doing the radical agenda in Canada, I'd probably be arrested for it, right?
So when did you get into, as you said, the racial stuff?
When Trayvon Martin case happened, you know, Michael Brown and Tamir Rice and all these different things happen, every single case, it's some little black asshole behaving like a savage, and he gets himself in trouble, shockingly enough. Whatever problems I might have with my fellow white people, they generally are not inclined to such behavior, and you know, you gotta kind of take that into consideration when you're thinking about how to organize your society.
In Oklahoma City.
Okay, so exactly. You have to go back to Oklahoma City to talk about a white act of terrorism,
Elliot Rodger,
right?
Dylan Roof.
Okay, so now you've managed to name 3 people, and I'm pretty sure Elliot Rodger wasn't explicitly white, by the way. But the thing is, you remember the names of white bombers and mass shooters, okay? Can you tell me the name of all 19 hijackers on 9/11 off the top of your head? You can remember Dylan Roof's name. You can remember Tim McVeigh's
white
name.
People were capable of violence.
I didn't say capable. Of course we're capable. I'm carrying a pistol. I go to the gym all the time. I'm trying to make myself more capable of violence. I'm here to spread ideas, talk, in the hopes that somebody more capable will come along and do that. Somebody like Donald Trump, who does not give his daughter to a Jew.
So Donald Trump, but like more racist.
A lot more racist than Donald Trump. I don't think that you could feel a
This is HBO's Vice, and it's a very excellent reporter that is asking this interview. This guy here, when the police finally picked him up, he was crying. I think he made a video where he was crying about how he didn't want to die and all this other stuff. And it's kind of like what you see with Kyle Rittenhouse now. You know, his life has, you know, been affected by his actions. And you know, he should be counting his blessings. He got a bad judge. He got an unfair trial, and he was able to get away with murder. He should be really fucking happy with that. And but no, this guy here, there's a later part of this interview. This part went viral, so most of you probably seen it. But he's out there. I think he's without a shirt, and he is talking about how he's not nonviolent. He'll kill these mutts or these savages. And I think I clipped it out, but he's basically going off on Donald Trump for letting his daughter marry a Jew. And again, I want to point, this is the only reason I'm pointing this guy out. I did not know this, but it was Anna from the Young Turks. There is an anti-government group called Free Keene. He used to be one of them. According to her, and I think I got the right guy, she said this guy used to be part of the Free Keene movement out there it's on the East Coast somewhere. And you should be able to find it on Free Keene. They used to have a YouTube channel, and they've just got some funny fucking shit on there. They really do. And but no, and he was one of the, I think they called him the Robin Hood guys. This is a guy that went around and filled people's parking meters so that the government couldn't give them tickets. And you know, and a lot of what Free Keene did was illegal. A lot of what they did was delusional. But that one there was upheld in court. The courts basically said, well, yeah, if you want to go and put money in parking meters, you got every right to do that. The cops and the city government were, you know, basically, you know, denied on that one. But this is a guy that was nonviolent, you know, and again, but the thing is, a lot of what they did, a lot of what he did in Free Keene, it was not legal. They lost court case after court case after court case. And I would say that this is evidence of some kind of a mental disease. And so then this guy, sooner or later, when he did, you know, he did something over and over and over again. What's that? I think it was Einstein that said one form of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and getting different results. Well, his mental illness, when it kept running up against facts and reality, he became violent. He became a part of the Charlotte movement. And this is the thing we have to understand. And the other thing is the footage we had of Waco and some of the other, they are referring to them as a cult. They are, and I did a couple videos on this where I was talking about like the Nazis and other things where, you know, the separation issue in the United States back in the 50s and 60s. And I pointed out that history is not going to be kind to these people. So we don't have to wait around for it. You know, these people now, a few years later, it's being shown that they were bad people. You know, they had that episode where that cop shot that mentally ill veteran, Ashley Babbitt, shot her in the head. And that's been upheld. That went through the courts. The cops were, you know, basically exonerated for, you know, the claims made against them by the right. And they're still doing it. Seen some of those in my comments. They're still fucking doing it where they're acting like those cops need to be prosecuted. And this is the part that cracks me up. You know, he's sitting there going on about Trayvon Martin. And these are things that for the most part society has looked at and really found that the facts and reality are different. But when you see these comments on my videos and others, this is the situation. And again, it's either a mental illness, it is people that are just not smart enough to understand it. I mean, I can explain the truth to you. I can't understand it for you. And, or they're just dishonest. And I recently had someone that wanted to debate me. He was talking about all the fake videos he made on this shit and how I should debate him. I told him, I got to be honest with you. I got some health issues and I'm not really having a lot of fun dealing with them. I'm not. I'm taking care of a family member that's got cancer. And I think before too long, I'm either going to be dead or homeless. And I'm just trying to fill the time while I'm taking care of her. I'm getting her into hospice and all that. And I just don't see the need to waste one moment of that time trying to debate an idiot. I really don't. And I just don't. I'm going to pull up a video for a second. Hang on. Okay, I can't. I was going to use a comment, and it's like the other day, I went in, I was going to use a comment for one of these. And this one here, I was actually going to give you the person's name because I can't remember if they were the one or not, but you've got these people, they come on here and they either can't read English or they're just flat out lying about what I said. That I don't kind of like. I mean, if you want to lie, you can go to other people's channel. And, but one of them was basically, you know, and I basically said that. I go, hey, look, I've got some health issues. I think I've got a limited time left on this earth, one way or the other. And I just don't want to waste any of them debating these guys. You know, if somebody else wants to, and I got to be honest with you, it would probably help my channel. It would honestly, but again, I would rather be right. I would rather be honest. I would rather be decent than make a shitload of money. And if I have to cater to a moron, if I have to cater to a liar to get more attention, I don't want it. I literally don't want it. And maybe I'd feel different if I had started this. I tried to make gaming videos and see if I could make a living on that. And I tried for 3 years. I really worked at it. I put a lot of effort into it. And I have had more luck in the last couple weeks doing this stuff. And I didn't think, I'm like, hey, I'm not overly smart. I'm not special. I'm better off doing the gaming videos because there's far better people out there to comment on this stuff than me. And but if I had started this 3 years ago, I might have had a shot. It might have been possible. And that was my choice, and I'm gonna have to live with the consequences on it. But no, these people. But again, this is, and here's the thing. Um, and I've done this in other videos. I showed footage of like the Colorado bomber, terrorist who blew up a federal building. There's a video out there of some terrorists that took over a federal reserve, wildlife reserve when Obama was president. And these people show the same signs of mental disease or bias or whatever you want to call it as these guys. And that's the thing. And like, especially you go back and you look at these guys marching in the street. This is something the government needs to get on. Free speech is not absolute. Neither is the First Amendment, Second Amendment. Neither one of them are absolute. And I think we need to be like Germany. I think we need to pass laws that makes this illegal. And First Amendment, First Amendment. Yeah, we fought a war on this. The stuff that these blood and soil people are doing, these Jews will not replace us people are doing. We fought a war on this. The whole world was involved. And we determined that this mindset was wrong. And I just think that, and maybe it's something they only have to temporarily have, because you take a look at, and again, because I'd rather see this dealt with through mental health. I'd rather see this dealt with through jail cells. You go back and it was pretty horrific. Janet Reno was the attorney general, and they literally drove tanks. They torched a building in Waco, Texas. And when you look at what is going on in the right now, your Kyle Rittenhouses, your Alex Jones, your Republican Congress, none of this existed in 93. You did not have an Alex Jones. There were right-wing talkers, but they were not this brazen. You did not have right-wing talkers that would go in and lie in court under oath. You did not have right-wing news like Fox telling people to destroy evidence when the Mueller report started. Hannity, I believe, did that, if I remember right. You did not have Republican lawyers lying in public like they do. And then when they're basically called out for sanctions or defamation lawsuits, and looks like they're going to lose them. It looks like the victims are going to win. Then have these lawyers going to go, oh, well, nobody in their right mind would have believed me. Well, that may be true, but there's a lot of your followers out there that I don't think are in their right mind. And this is the thing we got an issue with right now. And then one of the comments, I was going through my comments today. I try to do them in the morning. And I just want to say for anybody out there, if you comment in the chain, they don't show up for me to respond to. So if you're honestly looking for me to respond to them, you actually have to make it an original comment up near the top. But you, the thing we have here is, and I've done this before in other videos, we either need to deal with this through the criminal system or the mental health system. We have to start shutting down social media that is going to promote this stuff. We can't give them the immunity. Oh, well, I'm just a publisher. They're the one, or I'm just a host. Well, yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it before the election. We've seen it after the election. We've seen it before and after January 6th. A lot of these social medias, they have a bias where they allow some stuff if the right wing does it. And I'm going to give an example for Twitter. It was a congressman, Republican congressman, put up a video where he altered a video to make it look like he was massacring AOC. I don't believe his channel was even taken down. I think they put a disclaimer on it. And it was literally a video about murdering a fellow congressman, not just an ordinary citizen, a congressman. And the he got like a disclaimer. I might be wrong, but I didn't do it immediately, but I don't remember them taking his channel down. And if they did, it was weeks later, it was days later. And then I've seen people on the left have their channel say, well, it happened to me. Their channel will go down instantly because they basically say, well, yeah, if Donald Trump is found guilty of treason, he should be shot. And, Donald Trump, when he was president, if I'm not mistaken, made the firing squad a legal form of execution again. And those will get shut down. If you file an appeal on it because they're clearly taking sides, they'll just deny the appeal and they'll lock your. I mean, they don't do it to people on the right, but they'll do it to you if you're actually calling for law enforcement to do their job. And they have every right to do it. It's not a free speech issue. They're a company. They have a right to do it, but they don't have a right to their immunity anymore. They absolutely do not have a right to their immunity anymore. And this is something we need to talk about. And then the thing that happened today, I noticed in the comments, it's like a fucking 3-year-old, man. He's like, oh man, you're afraid to debate this guy. Oh, I don't know why you wouldn't do it. Well, and what it is, and here's the thing, it's whatever's wrong with them. See, this kind of thing works on them. This kind of thing works on them. I'm sure it's worked on them their whole life. If somebody threatens them, somebody calls them afraid, well, because they are afraid. And they're going to run right in there and do this. And it's like, and that's fine. And I told him, I go, look, I'm not going to do it. If you've seen any of these QAnon congressmen, if you've seen them in a debate, if you've seen them in court, like MTG, Taylor Greene, she went into court and she just did not look too good in there, having to take the fifth or, oh, I don't remember. And it's like, my God, if you got that many memory problems, maybe you shouldn't be in Congress. And you look at Alex Jones and his trial. These people, I mean, Alex Jones, the one, and it's at the beginning of the judge is saying, well, you just lied twice now. Well, the fact is, when his phone got turned over by his lawyers on accident, they found out that he had lied a lot during that case. There was evidence of it on the phone. And I don't know what to say, but it's like, yeah, we've got some serious problems in this country. And one of the biggest things we can do right now is to start calling these people out for it. And so, and I don't care if they're the ones doing it or not. When you have people that are sticking up for this, when they're sticking up for the Kyle Rittenhouses and everything, they might not be racist. They might not be terrorists. They might not be a member of a cult, but they sure as hell are enabling them. And history is going to call them out, so we might as well start doing it now, because guess what? It might just save our country going forward. Go ahead and leave your comments down below. I honestly do try to respond to all of them, but if you don't leave it at the top, if you leave it in a comment chain, it won't show up for me to respond to. So do that. And I seriously, everybody, I want to thank all of you. I am just overwhelmed sometimes and some videos I get are better than others. But I'm just a little overwhelmed by all the attention I'm getting. I just want to thank everybody. I do really appreciate it. Peace out, and I hope everybody has a good day.